Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. CimplyCeCe here, and we are here with another Motivational Monday. So let's get right into it. Okay, so we're not going off our list again today, but I'm sorry. These random things have been hitting me. Sorry, my drawer is open. And I guess some of my underlying insecurities have been kind of stirring up here in the last few days. And so I want to share them with you because, again, I feel like we all can relate to some extent because we're all people. We're all basically made the same way, even though our lives may look a little different and we may experience different things. The truth of the matter is we are still people and we feel all the same emotions at some point or another in our lives. So one thing that I want to get into today is measuring our own success and measuring our own value, and what does blessed look like and what indicates when someone isn't blessed. And I'm saying that because for me, as I dealing with one of my insecurities, I have a particular weakness, and I'm trying to be discreet about it, but it is finances, guys. Let's just talk about it. I want to be financially stronger than I am. I can't say, oh, I'm bad with money. Could I do better? Possibly. Could I budget better? Yes. And I can include all those things, but I have to include other circumstances. The type of job I have, I'm an entrepreneur. I am a licensed cosmetologist. So, I got to spend money to make money. I'm also a full-time mommy. I have been for 2 years. I'm not a complete stay-at-home mom, but basically I say full-time mom because I literally am home with my youngest 5 days a week. I only work 2 days a week. So, you have to incorporate all of those things when you're thinking about finances. And I can say that now, but I wasn't able to see that initially. So that's why I want to get into this video. Sometimes I think I can say yes, but the world has given us this idea of what success and blessed looks like. And finances sometimes can take a big role in those descriptions of things. And I'm not saying that having a lot of money doesn't mean you're not blessed. I do think that money is a blessing, but I don't think the lack thereof means you aren't blessed, if that makes sense. I don't believe that God created a world where everyone's supposed to be wealthy. I don't think that logically makes sense anyway with how the world works. If we were all rich, who would work? Because, honey, if I was rich, buy clients. I ain't doing nobody's hair. But, so we need people who need to make money to keep the world going around. And so, anyways, so the thing that I was talking about, what I was struggling with, was I was feeling down. And sometimes I think we can make the mistake of looking at one thing that's not where we want it to be, and we can become blinded, or we can, as I journal today, blur a lot of great things in our life because we have gotten our focus on this. And when I was journaling today, the thing that came to me, because journaling for me gives me clarity of thought, when I can spew out all of my emotions and things that I'm thinking, now that they're not the focal point of my thought process. Because now if I put it out there, even though, because some thoughts I don't think are necessarily necessary to share with other people. Some thoughts are private, and not even that they're secrets. That's different. Private and secret, they aren't the same. But a private thoughts means it's something that I'm working through on my own. It's not a secret that I keep from anyone. It's just something that Sierra is working through, and we all can relate to that. Sometimes we don't want to talk to someone about some things we're going through or thinking about, and that's understandable. That's fair. On other times, there are times that things are going on that we absolutely should talk to someone about. But that's a whole nother topic for another video. But So for me, today I was focusing on my finances and I was getting really down about it, bummed about it. Mind you, I haven't worked in about 2 months because of, the virus is out. So I'm not working. Our salon has been closed. And that's fine. So it's like, is this really a fair time to discuss finances when you are literally in a place where you can't make any money right now? So they're not going to be growing and they are going to be slowly declining because you're going to use money for things that you need or want in this time, but you're not replenishing your cash basically. So it was a lot of things I had to work through to get to this clarity point that I'm at now. So what I was realizing as I was journaling I'm sorry. Sometimes my mind's going faster than my mouth can move. So when I was journaling today, I was, my first thing was to write down what I was stressing about or what I was being insecure about. And once I got that out, as I was writing it and I was going on this path that my mom was taking me, I was like, my money's not where I want it, the paraphrasing, am I really doing this right? Do I have it together? Do I know what I'm talking about? Am I failing? Now I went to all of that and it was going there and I started to journal all these emotions. And again, as I'm spewing all of these thoughts out on this paper, the things start coming into my mind. Like, okay, now you pushed out that negative thought. And then the other thoughts, the voice of reason that follows chaos usually is, okay, so you want to have your savings account at a different amount. That's fair enough. But how could you ever say that you're not blessed? How could you ever say that, how could you miss the fact that this is going on in your life? And it humbled me to realize that, I have so many things to be grateful for. And that is what I want to share with you guys today. We all have something to be grateful for. Waking up every morning is a blessing. Having our health and strength. Every day you get, even if you're a sickly, if you're a person that doesn't have a job, the Bible says that it is a wonderful thing to be alive. So all of us that have breath in life in our lungs, it's a blessing. And it's not to say that people that have passed are cursed. That's not what we're getting into either. Death is a part of life. And one way or another, one day, sometime in the future, we all will pass through that path of death. So I like to keep that leveled because sometimes we can look upon death to be such a negative thing, but the reality is everything dies. Everything dies. And that's not to just throw that out there to be like, doom, 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 It's just when you have a balance of your thought process, you can stop calling things something that they're not. And for me, death was one of the big things that I was very, very anxious about. And when I was going through my anxiety, and I'm going to do this real quick so I can get back to my point. But when I was going through my anxiety, death was the biggest thing that was tormenting me. I was terrified of dying. What is it going to be like? How am I going to die? Da, 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 da. Anybody who's ever had that fear or thought would understand that snowball. It just keeps going and going and going. And I remember I was going to church and the pastor started preaching about death. And he said basically the same thing I said. He's like, we all have to die or whatever. And I felt like he was being so nonchalant about it. And again, I'm in my anxiety and I'm like, I don't want to hear this right now. I'm going crazy over here. And then I was thinking, why, God? I'm stressed. Why do I go to church today? And then the pastor was like, we're going to die, And so at first, my first reaction and response was like, why is this happening? Why are you tormenting me with this? I can't deal with it. And I realized that God was trying to tell me, you need to stop worrying about it. It is a part of life. And one thing I love about God, which may be hard at times, and in my life it has been hard, is that He is not going to beat around the bush with you. He is always honest. He is always straightforward. He is to the point. He is not, he cares about your emotions, but he will never jeopardize the truth to protect your feelings. Okay. And I hope you guys understand what I mean by that. He's not going to lead you to believe, like my I'm in anxiety. Of course, I want God to be like, you're never gonna die. But God is like, listen, sweetie, yeah, but you don't need to be worried about that. And he was teaching me to have a different mindset. And that's what I was getting through. And I was saying all that to say that he was teaching me balance. And that gets me back to my main point of the day. When we focus in on that one thing, or those several things that we feel are completely out of place. At this time, people may be dealing with a lot of things. The loss of a loved one, being sick, someone, they know is sick, in the hospital right now, battling for their life or recovering, or they themselves are sick, they're laid off, they're not working like me, they don't have money. It could be a list of things. But one of the things that God shared with me was that he showed me how he was sustaining me every single day. And it helped me to count my blessings, that even when I could not see how I got from yesterday to today, I still woke up in today. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so for me being here, I said, I can't focus on that. One thing he taught me, and what I know about God, is if we are still here, you guys, if we're still living and breathing and moving, regardless of if my finances are in the negative, okay? They ain't where I want to. They probably are negative. Actually, in fact, they are negative. I owe more right now to people than I got in my account. That's facts. It just is. But what I realized as I was journaling is that, yes, Sierra, they are not where you want them to be. But you're still here. You have a particular circumstance around why your finances look the way they look, and they can be corrected. And what I'm saying to you guys today is that thing in your life that's nagging you, that thing that you put a magnifying glass on because it's something that you want to be so much better and it's not. If it is causing you to miss your blessings, I need you to reevaluate your life. And my prayer with God was, redirect me, Father, so that I can always put my focus back on you and not on the things that I'm not so pleased with, or the things that aren't where I want them to be. I believe the enemy's job, and I'm talking about the devil, Satan, whatever you want to call them, is to try to weigh heavy on that thing that is nagging you or dragging you down. And his goal is to make it so heavy you stop moving. But with God, if you evaluate your life in a full perspective, if you can get a bird's eye view of everything around you, it happened to me like this. No, my finances aren't where I want them to be, but my marriage is blessed. My children are blessed. They're healthy. They have stories of their own. God has sustained me. I have a home to live in. I have a vehicle to drive if I need to. I have food in my refrigerator. I am a good person. I am genuine. I'm growing. I'm becoming a better me every single day. Every single day that I dedicate my life to pleasing God, he is growing me up. He is supplying all of my needs. And I have to learn to let go of my expectation. And the thought process behind my finances is because the world can sometimes tell you that if you have a lot of money, you're better. I've watched, motivational speakers and people that are millionaires and billionaires sometimes. Not all of them are like that, but some of them are like, you got to do this, you got to do that. And when I was watching them, I was really like, oh my God, you got to do this. You got to get your money up. And I've learned that really, I don't, it's nice. What I really want to do, and oh gosh, this guy said it. I can't think of it. But what I really had to evaluate when I was thinking about the money was, well, what do you want to do with it? Like, if you have your account where you want, what do you want to do? And what happened for me is I realized I have a different way life looks. I wanted to have the way things I want to do in the future. I want to have it so that I can have security. So my thing is, today, all I'm saying is, do not measure your success based on one thing that may not be where it wants to be, even if it's a lot of things. We are still here today, and you are still working at it. If you are laid off, if your money is not where you want it to be, like mine's, if your situations are rocky, especially if it's because of the virus that is out there, we can't beat ourselves up because everyone feels it one way or another. And so it's kind of like, if God is sustaining us through it, and keeping us every day, then we have to look at that. So make sure you get a full picture of your life. Do not let few things cause you to forget all the other things. Because I do believe that we always have more going for us than against us. I do believe that we always have more to be grateful for than to dread. And I believe that when we struggle with things, a lot of times, like for me, in my depressed state and things like that, I was literally meditating on the same negative thing over and over and over again. And I was making it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was reaching out to affect so many aspects of my life until I got that into control. Don't let that happen to you. And if you are in a space or a time where something is pulling at you and weighing you down, my prayer and what I would suggest for you to do is get out a pen and paper and jot down the things that you want. And you got to jot down every little thing that's okay, though. Every little thing that's okay. And I mean everything. If you ate a meal today, you ate it. If you ate a meal and you wasn't completely full, but you ate, you ate. You know, if you're walking around and you can move and maneuver, you write it down. If you can blink your eyes, you better write it down. If you can hear a bird outside the window, write it down. If you can feel a book and you're blind, but you can read with your finger, count your blessings. We all have something to be grateful for. We all have something that is going well for us in our life. Do not let that one thing keep you from being happy about all of those things. And you don't have to forget that thing that you want to work on. Know that there is still time. We are still here. And one thing I heard, that I remember from my anxiety, one of the motivational things I used to read was, run until God tells you to stop. Keep going until I am resting in Christ and I'm no longer able to move among this earth. I have time to work on finances. And you all have time to work on whatever it is you're working on. Take it one day at a time. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself patience. Be patient with yourself and be realistic. But be grateful. Do not drown yourself in that one or those few things that you want to be better that aren't right now. And be happy that you are still a great person, that you are working on it. If you have a thought to change a bad habit, that's progress. Count every blessing, and it's no big or small things. Every blessing is a blessing. There's not big ones and small ones. They're just blessings, okay? And I know that we can say they're small, but I believe everything's a blessing. It's powerful because everybody's not walking around. Everybody's not still here on earth. And I'm not saying that they are cursed or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that we all are walking around with something. And that one thing that you're really good at, somebody's struggling with it. And that thing that you may be struggling with, somebody's good at, okay? So just know that we all are out here trying our best to figure it out. Don't let your one little thing get you all the way down. So I hope that you guys are blessed today. I hope that this rambling made sense to you in some capacity. But all I want to say is, guys, truly, don't let one thing weigh you down. Don't let it do that and, miss the blessings of the other things that you have that are going great for you, that people want. You may have a car and people want a car. You don't have a car and people like, I'm tired of my car. It's always something we're working on. Nobody is like always, I'm like, all of us have something. I'm saying learn to be content. That's what it is. We all have to learn to be content where we are, even if we still want to work on something. Don't underestimate the grace and the blessings that you have right in front of you that you see every single day. And I'll leave you guys with this one other thing that I learned that helps me with this. I read it online somewhere and it said, it is a sinful thought to weigh our worth on being right. So, and when I read that, it is so fascinating that sometimes when we get things wrong, we can beat ourselves down, or we can lose confidence. We can, get really down on ourselves because we made a mistake, or we didn't get it right, or we didn't, it didn't work out the way we wanted it to, and it was our fault or something. The thing is, none of us are always okay, and none of us are always right. We all have to learn to be content where we are, understanding that we are really all on a level playing field. That we all go through different emotions. Don't let your view of someone's life tell you that they are better than you, that they don't have the same struggles as you, because I promise you, we all have struggles. We all go through things. Be content where you are. Don't ever stop working on the things that make you better, but don't let those things that you want to be better at weigh you down so that you can't be the best you today. I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. And thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. And I just hope that you guys are encouraged today. Stay motivated, stay close to God. And I'll talk to y'all next time.